Hey guys, it's Maxi, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the thought process on how a Radiant Killjoy thinks. If you want to see these videos live, I stream right here. Since a lot of people seem to enjoy my last video on Chamber, I decided to make another one on an agent that pretty much everybody plays. This is a game where I went 22-10 with a tracker score of 994, whatever that means. This is a game where I pretty much go battle Killjoy, so I kind of want to break down the thought process round by round. Hello, friendos.
Hello, how are you?
Doing great, man. How about you?
I bet your name is Doo-Wop. I bet your name is Jack.
No. Starting on pistol round, I go full utility on Killjoy. I lean towards B this round and put my turret over here up top because this is extremely annoying to break on pistol round. Then I set up nades for the jet dash towards switch, and then another one on the entrance to stall for the push.
He can't be racist because he's playing Phoenix, you know? Like, it's just
I got a bunch of yappers on my team this game, so please ignore them. Anyways, I'm positioning myself super wide here because I want to make sure I can deny all info and utility I can. For example, the Sova drone. I want to make sure that drone gets as little value as possible. The drone sees me, so after breaking it, I reposition so I don't get hard cleared. The jet dashes out, but immediately gets flushed out and picked. The rest of the team don't follow up and end up backing off and rotating away. I reposition close here just in case they want to re-hit and be silent and all that, but it sounds like they're rotating towards A. With the exception of Sova, who's trying to get some lurk picks, but we take him out. I push up towards B and I catch somebody mid-rotate on Cat. They plan A, but we end up swarming the last guy for the easy round win. So now we're on what's called an anti-eco for the second round. We have a bye while they're forced to save. I put an alarm bot right here to keep the mid lurks under control, and I place a turret right here facing the entrance of B main. My goal for this round is to deny all B main control. I want to be able to deny their orbs and pretty much stamp early in the round that taking B isn't going to be so easy for them. I play with confidence here, and I know it's a bit risky because if I get punished, things can get upended pretty quickly, but no pain, no gain. As of right now, I have zero reason to show these players any respect. Valorant can be a mind game. If they're convinced early on that we're better than them, then they'll start playing like it. The more conservative and scared that they play, the easier it'll be to predict them. Since 2 rounds in a row, I've already stamped my presence towards B main, I decided to switch it up and go towards A this time. The last thing I want to do is be predictable. They're going to have a tough time hitting my sights if they can't properly form a plan to counter me. I set up one nade for the jet dash and another one to stall the entrance, while my turret is placed on an angle that I consider a hard clear angle right here. This will become important later, remember that.
3 guys in main, 3 in main. Smoke it. Coming in main.
So they end up coming in my sight this round. The jet dashes towards generator and I instantly try to push to take him out, but he goes the opposite way. Doesn't matter though because I get a free pick on the Sova who's trying to hard clear my turret. After that, I fall back to try to hold and take out the jet who's at the front lines, but I kind of brain fart and my positioning really lets me down. I thought I was behind cover, but I guess I was too focused on trying to hold the angle on the jet that I didn't realize that the people at Switch could see me. Luckily, my race pops off and we win the bonus.
Jenny.
So after winning that round, we got money again while they're broke. So I'm going to do the very same thing that I did the last anti-eco. I got the gun advantage here and I don't want these guys to get any momentum whatsoever. Same turret and alarm bot placement and the same nade off rip to stall the push or buy any time in case they decide to rush. After that, I just slowly and meticulously just work it, isolating angles and trusting in my aim. And just like that, we're up a commanding 4-0. This next round is a big mistake on my part. Looking back at the play that I make, I can tell that I'm extremely rusty even though my idea was good. My habits just weren't there. Anyway, since I have a Brim ultimate, I try to set up for a fast B hit this round. I place my turrets logs for a hard angle that they gotta clear and I have my mollies on sidewalk. I plan on playing stairs and pre-aim the basic dart, getting ready for the rush. I guess wrong though cause they ended up fighting for mid. They smoke off bottom arch and I find myself lurking close behind the smoke. My biggest error was I wasn't really holding for the opposite side lurk and I didn't have my crosshair placed somewhere where I can hold everything. They end up sneaking past me and I die. We end up losing this round where I could have made a big difference. All because my positioning and my crosshair placement were a little bit out of whack. I got caught with my pants down. Going back to what worked, and that was contesting B main. The idea is if I can take away an entire lane of the map from them, it'll be easy for my teammates to rotate to stack other lanes. So I set up just like the previous anti-eco rounds and I'm ready to fight B main. After tossing the molly, I make sure to hold it just in case if some bonehead tries running through it. After that, my Sova drones up and cutely takes a look behind B main and calls out that it's clear.
You're kidding me!
The less activity I hear, the more confident I am to lurk up for more map control. The more map control I have, the more information we have. If they're not back B or mid, we know exactly where to expect them. I lurk up all the way to the spawn and I catch a brim lacking.
This smoke. Am I dead?
It's like
He's coming back.
After that pick, that's really all I need, so I back up and I place an aggressive turret to keep giving me information. After the turret tells me that they're coming back, I fall back to the entrance of B main. Now I'm playing the role of a human turret. They only got 30 seconds to play with, more or less, so if I can get some quick info and be like, hey, they're coming B, I can pretty much seal the deal if I pair it with like my last molly to stall them for a little bit. Play smarter, not harder. The enemy team ends up dropping like flies, with the Killjoy ending up saving. Since what I'm doing is working, there's no reason for me to change too drastically yet. That's what I thought, because this ideology ends up biting me in the rear end because they end up rushing A, and this is how that goes. I end up rotating fast because I have my ultimate, and even though that they have 2 ultimates I can counter it,
Me too.
Yo, he's sniping.
there's a chance that Brim or Sova might get taken out of the equation, so why not try? I molly the tree push so I can pop my ultimate safely, and then I get destroyed. We lost that round, and so next round they have a Killjoy ultimate and we have nothing to counter it, so I set up for a B head. Doesn't matter though because they go A again, so I book it to help them because this team so far hasn't been much of a big brain faking team. As you can see, there are some big gaps in the Killjoy ultimate, so while they're being patient and waiting for it to pop, I book it to exploit those gaps and try to mow them down as they run out.
Nice. I flash. They out?
Yeah, all out. One Jenny.
Oh, let's go.
Pushing through smokes blindly is one of the hardest things that you can do, so the second that I saw that they weren't out yet, I held for the push. There's so many different angles and spots that you gotta process and react to at a moment's notice. Even after taking an extra second to shoot the Reyna blind, I still had to jump on him. After that, I see my Phoenix flashing out, so that's my cue to help him and continue fighting until we win the round. The next round, I'm under the belief that there's no way they try rushing a side again. They're bound to try mid or something, maybe take it a little bit slower, so I buy an op because I'm feeling a bit frisky and plan on shutting them down. I set up my nades for a fast B rush just in case, and then I have my turret facing towards B main to give us early info to give us a quick heads up in case we need to rotate. The best way to explain how this next round went is by listening to this call out.
I look, you gotta go ego peek so I can get my food off the stove, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Oh,
My team ends up getting a bit overzealous and they all die before I even get a chance to work my op. The only person I see is an intangible Reyna, and they end up working up towards Cat and taking the bomb towards A. So now the protocol is to fish and try to isolate fights to try to get the numbers on our side. After upgrading to the Vandal, I break the door and then wait a second just to see if anybody tries the ego swing, but nobody's really biting the bait, so it's up to me to just run up and shoot things.
Nice help.
low time.
Enemy
Good
remaining.
shot. One.
Player standing.
No.
Oh,
Okay, you might be the
garbage.
cleanest Vandal user and the worst classic user I've ever seen.
That was really
Like,
bad, dude.
What the fuck?
He's 100% right because this was absolutely atrocious. Granted, their Killjoy's movement was pretty solid, but still. After throwing that round, I'm sick and tired of them going A, so that's where I decided to play this round.
I'm playing
Yo,
Astro.
I don't know if y'all know who Sasha Alex Sloan is, but now you do. Go listen to her.
I'm not gonna do that.
I set up my nades for the jet dash, and since I'm a little bit late, I just put my turret right here. I meant to put it on top of Jenny, but if he dashes towards default, it's gonna know the jet in his own smoke. My nade perfectly counters a jet dash, and I also make sure to peek him while he's trying his best to survive my onslaught of grenades, because you can't always expect your grenade to fully take out an enemy. It's always really easy to take him out while they're running away trying to survive with their knife out and stuff, so don't be afraid to peek him. I tried going for more, but sadly I get Odin spam through smoke. Lucky wish I had a phantom here. So we end up losing this round sadly. This next round I do absolutely nothing, but we still win. I pretty much just whiff and die. The following round after though, I'm still dedicating myself towards A because that's where they won a majority of the rounds. Fair warning, this round is a massive brain fart for me if I had to be completely honest. Let's break it down. The enemy team finally end up going towards B with the Killjoy ultimate. So as I'm rotating, I decide to rotate through flank because I like the idea of collapsing and entrapping the enemies through all angles. I have my ultimate too, so if I can get B main control, I can place it in the usual Killjoy ultimate area and I can have a really juicy retake. But I kinda just whiffed the execution.
So like,
One lane.
yo, that guy
fuck?
was so dumb, bro.
The fuck?
Play CSGO, play CSGO.
Here.
Suck you, you're gonna get detained.
You guys are so bad.
Bro, I thought you were gonna stay back. There's no way you picked that.
Their Brimstone hit some pretty nice shots though, kudos to him. And I get pretty tilted at my Omen right here because I was under the impression that he was going to be playing safe. He's the initiator in this case because he flashed, so I'm trying to push in and capitalize off of his flash. Even though I for sure shouldn't have pushed in, I was hoping that he'd play his life here because I was under the impression that there was a slight window back sight where the Brim can avoid being detained at. So since after I saw him mid sight, I wanted to pressure him so he can guaranteed get caught in the ultimate so my Omen could get the free win. Sadly, it didn't go that way.
I think there's a gap right here, so I was making sure you wouldn't get that.
There was no gap. There was no gap.
Wait, so I did the good one? Oh, I guess I fucking brain farted because I wanted to put it on the box because this guy had an Odin there.
I knew that they had an Odin in play, so I personally thought that I put it behind the box, but I guess I put the right one that gets all of sight. It's just one of those bonehead rounds, and I personally blame COVID. It's all good though, sometimes people get really tilted after rounds like that, but who cares? We kept up the vibes up and we ended up slaughtering them anyways. For pistol, I buy a sheriff and I plan on holding and contesting mid for map control. I don't want the enemy team to be able to flank us or keep us contained or anything or fast rotate. So I just go mid, look for picks, put my turret up so I can have some information on where to peek and where to expect them. They end up not challenging me, they rotate through spawn, and my team does pretty well and I get a chance to freely lurk up and get some free picks because of it.
Oh, that guy should go play CSGO. That's what sucks.
So the next round, my team wants to run it down A, and so since it's going to be a hard push, I decided to join the team so I can control the flank and trade with them if I need to. Usually I'm not a fan of lurking on rounds like this because when they're poor, the last thing that I want to do is gift them a weapon and a chance to do some real damage. The enemy team actually ends up owning us, so then I step into the row as entry and push out and get sight and plant the spike too. Since we're down numbers here in a 3v4, I know that somebody's treed knifing the door, so I try to pounce and try to get a quick pick on him as fast as possible. It's the enemy Killjoy and he's playing it very safe, which I can kind of respect. But since he's giving me the space, I decide to take it and get in this corner, which is a really unexpected off angle. I have all of tree control now, so I just hold it until I can get a pick here. If I end up fully controlling this area, our chances of winning the round are much greater than if we all just stayed A main. Having to defuse the spike while worrying about two different angles is way better than just one angle.
After that, it's just anarchy.
Standing.
Oh, that's fucked.
That shit was easy.
That was
That's a clip.
Wait, that was looking like your classic.
A clip, bro. Bro, this server.
I'm certain they got to be pretty tilted after that because they tossed way harder than we did. This next round isn't anything special though. We start off with an early B presence trying to rush it, but my teammates get scared off. All the while I'm placing a turret towards mid just trying to hold control of it. I see my Phoenix working his way up cat, and since nobody's close enough to help him, I step in the supportive teammate mode and I follow him up, just trade and back him up whenever I can. I'm holding the angles that he can't and I end up getting a trade on him, but I die shortly after. We end up winning the round anyways because my team is awesome. This next round we decided to rush B, and I guess I was in a silly goofy mood because I don't know what was going through my head here. My Phoenix is on the verge of an ace here, but the enemy Sova is a little rat and he takes himself out, which made me laugh very hard.
There's no chance, bro.
The next round, my team is dedicated to an A rush, so I place my Killjoy ultimate as they're going out to guarantee us some space since they don't really have anything to counter it. After I place it down, I go for the late flank of Destiny and I catch a guy in translation and take him out. The next round, I don't really do anything important. I just died trying to trade my teammate through smoke, which was a bad play, but it didn't matter because my teammates ended up closing it out. This game could have easily been a bigger stomp if I didn't make so many misplays, or it could have been a 30 kill game if it went for longer. Either way, we got a pretty easy dub, and I think I had a huge impact towards CT side. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm still trying to shake off the rust though, because I haven't really been grinding too much. I haven't tried to hit Radiant in like 8 months. Life has been kind of weird, so trying to get back onto it now for the content grind. So thank you guys so much for watching.